Cyberpunk has a total of 6 apartments that you can own. 2 of them come free, one for the base game and one for the DLC. And I've seen plenty of people rank the apartments from worst to best, but many of them don't talk about the partner hangouts, even after the 2.1 update. So this is going to be a video ranking the apartments from worst to best, and I'm going to be basing these apartments on what they have to offer, how they look, what kind of view they have, and of course, romance hangouts. Or rather, the quest, I really want to stay at your house. However, I will mainly be talking about Panam and Judy as they are the 2 main romance options and everyone's favorites. Plus, I haven't romanced Carrie because I'm not interested in dude-on-dude action, and River is, well, River. So I am only focusing on Panam and Judy. Make sure to let me know which apartments are your favorite and why down in the comments. But let's go ahead and get into ranking Cyberpunk's available apartments from worst to best. No one wants to live in a cheap motel. As Johnny said, it's a place where you can puke all over the carpet no problem. The north side apartment is definitely not worth the $10,000 price point. It's extremely small, but you have a bathroom, a stash, and a place to sleep. However, there's no real windows, so you can't look outside. In real life, this is all I would need. But this is an RPG, and in RPGs, I prefer the sunlight. Your romance partners don't have much to do here. You can cuddle on the couch, which is the standard for all of these apartments. You can shower together, which is also the standard. And you can sleep together in the literal sense and wake up the next morning, which yet again is the standard for these apartments. However, unlike literally every other apartment on this list, you cannot dance with your partner, which is one of the best parts of the I really want to stay at your house quest. Your partner won't really do much on idle at this apartment either, except for leaning up against your computer desk, but Judy will sit down and kick up her feet like she does at work. This apartment is overall extremely boring and the worst out of all of them. It even looks like a dump because it is quite literally a dump. The new apartment added in Phantom Liberty is quite literally a pile of rubble, but yet it still manages to be an upgrade from the cheap motel. The lights barely work, and I highly doubt that the running water is very sanitary. This apartment has all of its normal facilities, a shower, a radio, a place to sleep, and access to a wardrobe and a stash. You also get an amazing view of Dogtown, and since this is basically the only apartment in the entire building, you won't see any strangers roaming the halls. You even get a dance floor, but you cannot invite your romance partners over to this apartment. I mean, you technically can invite them, but they will straight up refuse to come, so you'll be dancing on your own. You can also sneak over to the balcony and hang out with Johnny. So this is the closest thing you're going to get to a Johnny Silverhand romance, although I don't know why so many people keep asking for that, as if having sex with a hologram makes any logical sense whatsoever. Now, the Westbrook district is known as the most wealthy district. Between Japantown and North Oak, you would have to be rich to live in any of these places. I mean, Westbrook is the only district in Night City to not have any cyberpsychos, since everyone who lives there either can afford the psychiatric treatment they need, or they live such a luxurious life that they never end up in situations where they'll end up needing psychiatric help to begin with. With that being said, the Japantown apartment is a dump in comparison, so not everyone who lives in Japantown is rich, at least not those who live on street level. This apartment has all the standard facilities like the rest, but this is where apartments get a little more interesting. You can burn incense in this apartment, although I personally prefer scented candles. You can sit at the makeshift bar and listen to the radio. You have a samurai record player, and you can even play a few different songs on the guitar. However, you can't play the guitar when you have company over. Now this really sucks, and if they ever change it, then this apartment might be higher on the list. While on the topic of having your partners over, you can cuddle, shower, sleep together like before, but now you can dance with your partner to the song I Really Want to Stay at Your House. I'll admit this gets tiring after a while. I really wish you could choose between a whole selection of songs, like Delicate Weapon or maybe some Us Cracks. But there are a couple idle activities for your partners as well. Judy will lean up against the counter, and Panam will straight up put her cooter on it. She can also sit near the bed with absolutely horrendous posture. Overall, the Japantown apartment isn't bad, especially if you're a weeb who is obsessed over Japanese stuff, but there are better options out there as Japantown isn't really unique in any way. Unlike the Corpo Plaza apartment, Corpo Plaza is a nice place to live. I'm not the kind of person who typically likes concrete jungles, but Night City's architecture is beautiful compared to the extremely old and outdated architecture that we see in real life. The Corpo Plaza apartment is by far the most expensive place to live, but the apartment itself is very slick and clean. Definitely my favorite looking apartment out of all of them. This apartment has all of the normal facilities like the others. You can also sit down at the bar and either drink some whiskey or smoke a ciggy. You also get a samurai record player like before, and you can also brew some coffee with a futuristic coffee maker, or make and drink some green tea. Definitely living the hipster lifestyle indeed. Like the other apartment, you can do the standard cuddling, dancing, showering, and sleeping with your partner. At this point, this is just the bare minimum. The dance floor is right next to the radio, so when I Really Want to Stay at Your House plays while you're dancing, you'll actually be able to hear it at a decent volume. Your partner's idling activities are definitely a little more lively than before. Panam will lean against the window and stare at you, while Judy will gaze at the view because, let's face it, Judy is used to staring up at the skyline and not looking down from the top of it. You can even embrace Judy and gaze at the city alongside her. Panam will also go snooping through your closet, probably judging your terrible sense of fashion, while Judy just kinda stands there next to your bed. Judy doesn't care much about your clothes anyway. She prefers if you just don't wear any at all.
I see everything.
This apartment is overall really good, but I'll admit it's a bit overpriced. I don't recommend spending all your money on this apartment as there are cheaper and better alternatives. But if you have money to burn, then definitely pick up this apartment as it adds a lot more character to your romance options. And it's just in a very convenient location. However, your default Mega Building 10 apartment is not only completely free, but it's actually really good. It honestly makes me wonder why some of the others were even added into the game in the first place, considering most of them are far inferior. You have all of the normal facilities as per usual, but this apartment lets you adopt a stray cat that you can find in the hallway. You can also grow a baby iguana if you steal the egg from your Nobu's iguana exhibit during the heist. Johnny can also spawn in and play his digital guitar. And if that wasn't good enough, this is where all your memorabilia is displayed. Little hidden rewards you get for completing various quests and activities. When you invite your partners over, you can do everything that you could previously. But this is the only apartment in the game where Judy will slap you on the booty when you look in the mirror. Other than that, there is no real idle activities for your partners. They will usually just sit on the couch. And you can lean against the window and they'll come over and talk to you. However, I can't get them to actually go over to the window half of the time. But the mirror shenanigans honestly make up for all of it, especially when it's the only apartment that actually does it. This is the default apartment, but there's nothing wrong with going with the original. If you are tight on money, don't even bother buying any other apartments. This one will serve you perfectly fine until you earn enough to buy other apartments. And there is only one apartment that I think it is worth wasting your money on, and that would be the apartment in the Glen. Of course, you already know this is the #1 apartment due to process of elimination, but there is no need to be coy about it. The inside of the Glen apartment honestly doesn't look like what you'd think it would. It has a very classy and modern vibe, and comes with a cool futuristic coffee maker. Aesthetically, you have a home gym too, which is really cool along with the massive flat screen TV. There's also a bar with a pool table that you can actually interact with. And for those of you who are fans of The Witcher 3, you have your own Roach Race arcade machine here. This apartment is honestly the best for hanging out with your partners by a long shot. You have your standard showering and cuddling like before, but the other unique interactions with your partners is what truly makes this place the best apartment on the market. For idling activities, Panam can sit at the bar, or she can hang out in the kitchen where she will grab you and forcefully give you a smooch, which I am totally into. Judy, on the other hand, clearly was CD Projekt Red's favorite. She will stand in the kitchen like Panam, but instead of a smooch, you can embrace her and gaze at the city like in the Corpo Plaza apartment. She can also sit on the pool table and look cute while doing so. But if you're sad that you can't give her a smooch like Panam, don't be. You can approach her and give her more than just a smooch. If by some miracle Panam gets here before you do, you can catch her looking at your bookshelf. For those of you who were on Team Judy, this is your favorite apartment. buy it immediately. But overall, this apartment is the best. It offers a lot to do and makes hanging out with your partners feel all the more immersive. And that is why this is the best apartment in the entire game. There you have it, that was all of Cyberpunk's apartments ranked worst to best. Remember to let me know which apartments are your favorites and why. If you want to see more Cyberpunk and RPG related content, then feel free to subscribe. Anyways, I'll see you later, and remember, the media lies.